welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Monica, and today I'm coming to you in comfy clothes. I am of course wearing an Eras Tour sweatshirt because what else would I be wearing? But today's video is either going to be a speed reviews video where I give you quick reviews about the makeup that I have tried over the past like 6 or 7 months, or it's just going to be a plain old makeup reviews video. I haven't decided what I'm going to title it yet because frankly it has to do with how long I decide to ramble on about each product. I always go into these kind of videos with the best of intentions, where I'm like, I'm just going to like give like pinpoint thoughts about them while being detailed, but oftentimes I get a little too rambly, so we'll see what this is titled. Obviously you guys will already know what it's titled because it'll be up and published and polished by the time you guys get this video. But yeah, I'm going to be just basically giving you my full-fledged thoughts about each of these products that I've tried over the past 6 or 7 months, like I've said. I did one of these in April. It was called a speed reviews video. I don't really know if it deserves that name, but that's what it's called. And so this is going to be me giving you updates on the makeup I've tried on and off camera since that last video. I don't have a ton here in comparison to what I've had in the past, given like that I do this for a hobby and I do it on YouTube, so I want to try as many products as I can to kind of like give you my thoughts about them. But frankly, this isn't very much in comparison, and I'm kind of excited about that because that means I didn't buy too much this year, at least within the past 6 or 7 months, and that was my goal. So I'm excited about that, but I'm just gonna go through each product. I'm probably going to do it by category, so I'll probably start off with like eyeshadow palettes, and then like they'll each be their own categories after that, because I feel like that's a pretty easy, organized way to follow a video like this. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. So without further ado, let's just hop in, and like I said, we're gonna start off with eyeshadow palettes. So the first eyeshadow palette I want to talk to you about is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I still kept the box because, I don't know, it's so pretty, I don't want to like mess it up. But it is a gorgeous palette. This is what it looks like. Very pretty. I love the color scheme. I've mentioned in the past that Natasha Denona eyeshadows have not really ever been my cup of tea because I don't think they're as good as everybody says, except for this one and another one we're going to talk about here in a second. This is a beautiful formula, both with like shimmers and the mattes. They also have a few like glittery shades like this one in the middle. I love them. I use them quite frequently. This is a great color story for anybody who's just like looking for a one and done palette. If you're an everyday life kind of person who doesn't really use a lot of color, this is perfect. Great bridal palette in my opinion. I love to whip it out. I feel like it looks so good with like hazel eyes, brown eyes, really any color eyes do well with this kind of palette. I don't know how these kind of shadows perform on like darker skin tones, so maybe keep that in mind, but I'm obviously very fair and they work beautifully on me. I love the way they blend. I love the pigmentation. I'm really impressed with this palette, especially considering the fact that I'm not a big Natasha Denona eyeshadow like formula person. I've just never really been into it. I thought that they kind of were a little overrated, but this time I feel like the hype is real with this, and I'm on board with it. So the little mini palette that got me back into wanting to try Natasha Denona eyeshadows was this one. This is the mini Starlit palette. It's like this peachy tone, couple of mauve shades going on. This is beautiful. I tried it in a makeup like try on video a couple months back, and I was really impressed with the formula. I use every single one of the shades in here. Maybe not every single time I use it. If I'm going for a little bit of a more neutral look, I won't, but if I'm going for a glam look, I will 100% use every single one of the shades in here at once. Just like the I Need a Nude, this is a lot easier in my opinion and my experience to blend both matte and shimmer wise than other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they've kind of like upped the formula or if I'm just losing my mind. I really don't know, but I do see a difference with these two palettes and how they blend and work, and I love them. Maybe I'll try more palettes from this line. I'm not sure. I really don't think I need any because I think I've got everything covered here and in the rest of my eyeshadow collection. But I do really love both of these so much, and I think they're worth the hype that they get. So also in a new makeup video, I tried this palette out. I also mentioned that I had gotten this one and have since tried this out because I only use this palette and that one. Loved this, and I've loved both of them since. I've really been using them a ton. Honestly, it's been like, I've had to force myself to use other eyeshadows like with my Shop My Stash videos because I've been in like a cycle with the Natasha Denona eyeshadows, and these, because this is such, look how easy this is, like for every day. It's just an all matte. I'm a sucker for an all matte palette, even though realistically I do use shimmers pretty much every day, but I do like an all matte palette, and this one is gorgeous. I do think that they really upped their formula. These used to be in a black package if these are replacing those, which I know they're replacing them, but I'm pretty sure they're just reformulated and kind of zhuzhed up a little bit. I think the formula of like the e.l.f. eyeshadows in this packaging has really improved, and I really like reaching for them. Honestly, the shimmers in here, you kind of have to work with some of them, like the more colorful ones. You honestly have to like do a couple of layers of like the more punchy shimmers, but like the nude one, like this one right here, it's very light, so you don't really need to pack on a ton, and it's really pretty. So I really have been loving these as well. So then another eyeshadow quad that I actually tried out, not on camera, is this LA Girl 4Play eyeshadow palette, Deuce. This is the color scheme. It's really pretty, very neutral. It actually takes so much effort to get this open the first time because however they put like the tape on here is impossible to get open. I actually had to get my husband to help me open it, which is definitely taking a couple points off because it should not be that hard to open. I like that it's a sturdier package for like drugstore, but it is quite hard to open that first time. After that, you can open it by yourself. The only thing I would complain about with this color scheme is that I wish there was a slightly lighter shade. Like this is pulling lighter on camera than it actually is. I want this to be maybe a shade or two lighter than it is, to be more champagne and less gold. I do really like this. I do feel like I need to pull that lighter champagne shimmer in when I use this, so I do wish this had it, but I do like it. We'll see if I end up decluttering this at some point in the future, because if I don't feel like it meets all my needs, a lot of times that pushes me to declutter. But I won't have it declutter for a while, so we'll sit on that. We'll see what the future holds. I do think it's a good eyeshadow formula, really blendable and pigmented, but yeah, it leaves something to be desired with the shade range and like, you know, the diversity of it. Sir, I had to get my hair off my neck because it was driving me crazy. I want to do some foundation, so we're going to start off with a sucker. This is the Danessa Myricks or Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Serum Tint. I don't like this. I tried this in one of those videos where I was trying new makeup, and I actually had high hopes. It's not very good. I don't like it. I don't like to use it. I think it doesn't do anything good for my skin. And I don't like really have any wrinkles or anything yet, and I just feel like this just makes my skin look worse than it is, especially after using it multiple times. So it really took a lot for me to want to use it at all. I didn't want to use it, but to force myself to use it at all, and so it's not good. I think the price is too high, and I would just pass on this. There are so many other like skin tint products out there, including at the drugstore, that are way better than this and usually a lot cheaper. And if you want one that's a little bit higher end, so many other options at Sephora that are way better than this in my opinion. So I tried a couple of stick foundations, which I haven't used a stick foundation since I was in like high school. The first one I purchased was the Basma one. It is the most beautiful package. It's like so sturdy. I love the diversity in the shade range. It's so nice. This is in the shade 038. It's a pretty good shade match. I think this breaks me out though, because every time I use it, I end up with clogged pores, usually a pimple or two pop up after it. So I keep using it and that keeps happening. So I think this is the common denominator, unfortunately, because it actually is so beautiful on the skin. That's what makes it unfortunate. It is so beautiful on the skin, but I'm pretty sure it's not great if you have really sensitive or acne prone skin. I'll probably try this 1 or 2 more times and see what happens, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to like give it to somebody in my life who can actually use it, because I want it to be used up before it ever had a chance to go bad. So the other stick foundation that I used up is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Stick Foundation. I cannot believe how much I love this stick foundation. It's better than the Basma. The Basma is really good, but this one is better. It lasts longer. It's so pretty. I love the shade range, of course, because Rihanna is known for making Fenty shade range incredible. I haven't tried the regular one, like the liquid version of this, but I'm definitely tempted to. This is the easiest foundation to use because I literally just like put it all over my face. I blend it in with like an e.l.f. foundation brush or whatever. Any kind of brush, foundation brush is great with this, and I cannot tell you how many compliments I get on my skin when I wear this, and it takes so little time to just throw it on. Like if I just need a little bit on my face, this is what I'm going for. I'm wearing it today and it's so pretty. I've actually been wearing it for a while because it's actually the evening time when I'm filming this, and I feel like my skin looks so fresh. Like I love the way it looks. I wore this on my birthday and I knew it was gonna last all day, and it did. It looks so good. I've already repurchased it. I repurchased it during the Sephora sale because it's that good. Like I will repurchase it forever. And side note, I didn't know that you could do this because I thought I was just about done with this, because like when you first push it up, you know, that's pretty much all I have left. But if you actually keep pushing it, there's like a decent amount still left. You're gonna have lines, it's not the prettiest, but that way you can use every bit of the product and it will last you probably about twice as long. This is still my first one and I've been using it for a while now and I adore it. It's up there with like a Holy Grail foundation. Like it's my Holy Grail stick foundation for sure, and it's up there with the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation. And if you know how I feel about that, that should tell you how I feel about this. So a couple of concealer type products. We actually have some color correcting things from e.l.f. These are the Putty Color Correcting Eye Brighteners. I have this in the shade, the lightest shade, Fair. Okay, I found it. The lightest shade, Fair. And then I also got it in the shade Light Medium. So this is what that one looks like, a little bit more yellow toned. I love these. Honestly, I'm shocked by how much I love them because the Putty collection, other than the Putty primer, has been really underwhelming for me. So I was shocked. I actually love these. These are so easy to put on. I'll wear these with like no makeup and like some sunscreen and I'm like good to go for errands or whatever. Or if I just want to look a little bit more awake and I don't want to put on a full face of makeup, this is the kind of product I reach for, and this is what I've been reaching for pretty exclusively, other than the ones that I've been putting in my Shop My Stash to make sure I'm using. But these are a little bit different. Those are what I consider like color correctors. These are eye brighteners, so I feel like they more brighten than fully color correct like the other ones do. But I really love these. These are so beautiful. I would say they provide like light coverage, but you look automatically more awake. They're like $6 or something, so you should definitely try them out. So I also tried the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Concealer. I actually had already tried this before my last declutter, and I had the wrong shade and I decluttered that shade and got this one instead. I don't remember the first shade I had, but it was way too light and it was distractingly light. So I got this in the shade Vanilla, and you'd think, based on looking at it, you would think that this would swatch a little bit too yellow for me. The undertones are weird on this, I will say. But it actually works really well. I love this concealer. I'm excited to like keep pulling it out and using it. I wouldn't say I love it as much as my Catrice True Skin Concealer, because that one is like Holy Grail, top notch. I love that. This is right underneath that though. It provides medium coverage and fuller coverage the longer you let it sit on. Not entirely sure about the science of that, I guess because it's drying down, so it's providing more coverage because it's not as movable. I don't really know. But it is beautiful and I do really like it. I will say though, if I were to suggest a drugstore concealer or a drugstore priced concealer, I would say get the Catrice True Skin over this one, because that one is cheaper than this one. This one's like $12 or something and that one's like $6. So I still would get that one, but I do really like this one. So I have a bronzer that I tried out, the Uoma one, and you're gonna look at this and be like, oh, a powder. Yeah, it's really light. This is the Double Take Sculpting and Bronzer Powder from Uoma, and it's in the shade White Pearl. So yeah, it looks very light, but actually this provides the most natural looking bronze contour, like hybrid. I love whipping this out, especially on a more natural leaning makeup day, because I think it's so nice. It looks like my skin tone, but I swear when you put it like where, I kind of put it in between like where bronzer and contour goes, since I kind of use it like a hybrid between the two. And it just adds dimension to my face in the most natural, subtle way, so nobody would be able to look at my face and be like, that girl's wearing bronzer. They would look at it and be like, that girl has like nice cheekbones. And that's what we're going for. So I actually really like this. I do think it's kind of pricey, so I don't know if I would be like, run out and get it now. But if you have it, or if you're eyeing it and you're like, I want a really natural looking one, you should look into this, because this is the most natural looking, lightest bronzer I've ever seen. So then I tried out the Check My Glow Multi-Dimensional Illuminating Highlighter in Platinum Cowgirl. This is Gwen Stefani's brand. I think it's pronounced Give. Everybody always has this debate because it looks like an X. It looks like GXVE. I don't even know if you could tell what that said because of the checkered pattern. But this is like a highlighter. I think this is really pretty. I'm pretty sure though that I found a dupe. So keep an eye out for a dupes video, because I'm pretty sure I found a dupe. But this is gorgeous. This is again one of those products that I would say, don't run out and buy it. You don't need to. It is really pretty if you've been eyeing it. If it's something that you're like, I want that for Christmas, or I just want to, you know, splurge on myself and get that, it's beautiful. I do think that there are comparable things at the drugstore though, because it provides a very lit from within highlight, not a punchy one, so definitely keep that in mind. But I do think it's really nice, and I will continue reaching for it, and I don't like foresee myself like really ever decluttering this. But like I said, you don't really need to spend the money on it. It's good, but it's not a necessity. So then I tried out quite a few blushes. I'm gonna start out with this cream one. This is the Sigma Cream Blush in Cor de Rosa. I'm so sorry if I butcher that. It's a beautiful rosy shade, as the name implies. I actually really love this. I know Kelly Gooch has talked about how much she hates this formula. I think it's beautiful. It doesn't pick up my foundation or anything, but this is like an example of how makeup works differently for everybody. So it may pick your foundation up, but it doesn't pick mine up. I really like this. It's one of those things that I look forward to using, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I like want to use it because it's so pretty and so easy to blend, at least in my experience. So I would recommend it. I think it's a really, really good cream blush formula. It may be one of my favorites, to be honest. I don't ever know what to do when I have second day hair because it kind of just does whatever it wants to, and I'm like, do I want it behind me? Do I want it in front of me? So like, I'm sorry if I'm messing with it too much. It's in front for right now, but I also tried out the Sephora Colorful Blush. This is in the shade Self-Made. I actually really like this. I think Sephora's like in-house brand has such beautiful makeup. I really love so many things from them. And so I picked this up actually in the last VIB sale, not in the fall. So the one in the spring, that's when I picked this up and tried it. And I've really been loving it. I think it's really pretty, so soft looking on the skin without looking flat. It really adds dimension and there's no glow. It's a true matte formula and I really like it. Like I'll be using this a lot, especially like in the winter, because that's when I really reach for like matte blushes. I just love a good matte look in the winter. And this is perfect for that. So then I tried out this BareMinerals highlighting blush. This one is in the shade Opal Glow. I tried it in one of the trying new makeup videos that I've mentioned quite a few times. I like this, but honestly, you really have to put a lot. If you can kind of see the color, you have to put a lot on to really see anything. I think I would actually just start using this as a highlighter over a blush to have like a really pretty like pinky leaning highlighter, because honestly as a blush, it's kind of hard to make show up without like using a ton. So I think it's good. I wouldn't purchase it again and I wouldn't necessarily say like you need to go get it. It's not like a super impressive formula to me. It's just fine and I'll use it. But like I'm gonna use it up probably as a highlighter because the blush is, it doesn't really work as blush for me. So then I also tried out the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. This is in Barely Blushing. This is a cream blush. This is also a really great formula. Very different from the Sigma one. I would say that this is a lot more subtle. Like the Sigma one is a lot, you can barely throw any on, and in comparison that one shows up a lot more. It's not like it's too pigmented, but this one is a lot more of a softer approach to it, and I really like that for those really easy days. I actually kind of like to pair this with the Uoma Powder really, really light bronzer I just talked about, because it just provides such a soft, youthful look, and you add some dimension and some color without being, it's not too much. It's not too in your face. It's really pretty. I really like this. I really like the Skin Enhancer from this line as well. I think that's what it's called, the more bronzer product. I think that this is such a beautiful line. I really like Makeup by Mario so far. Their Ethereal Eyes palette I think is still available to buy just for this year though. I think it's gonna be done after that, so you should buy that, just a side note. But I do really, really love this, and I find myself reaching for it a lot. Gosh, I went from being a person who like hated cheek products to being the person who, that's like the most makeup I have now, is like blush, bronzer, and highlight. I don't know what happened. But the last blush that I tried out is the ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in To the 10. This is a gorgeous formula. ColourPop really does such a good job of having such a wide shade range for all these kind of products. So if you're like somebody who's like, I never can find a blush that I actually like, maybe check this out, because this and the Sephora blush actually are very, very similar in formula. I really like this blush formula. Honestly, all the blushes besides the BareMinerals one that's more of like a highlighter to me are really impressive. I've been really impressed with blush launches this year. So then we've got some mascaras. First I've got the Falsies Surreal from Maybelline. I love the tube. It's so pretty. I love this color purple. It's such a pretty purple. This is a great formula. I really look forward to using this all the time. It's my favorite drugstore formula right now, but to be honest, the drugstore kills it at mascaras, so that's kind of a hard, it's kind of hard to go to the drugstore and not find a mascara that's really good, but this is one of them. Maybelline always kills it on mascaras. They have been a go-to brand for mascaras since they've pretty much been around, so I love this. I will continue to use it, and honestly I could see myself repurchasing it. I love the wand. It's really such an easy mascara to use. It does not surpass my Rare Beauty mascara in like how much I love it, because the Rare Beauty one is my favorite, but this one is up there. It is really, really good, and I would suggest trying it out if you want to just like branch out and try another drugstore mascara, or in general if you just want to try a good drugstore mascara. I would definitely try this. So then I tried the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. What a long name. So pretty. This is the small one. I'm still working through both of these mascaras, by the way. So this one, I believe, is a tubing formula, if I'm remembering right. I heard so many people raving about this, and I'm like, I don't get it. It's not bad, but I don't get it. Like, I'm like, okay, it's another mascara. Like, I'm not gonna repurchase this. Maybe it's that I don't love tubing mascaras, because I'm really not into tubing mascaras at all. It's better than other tubing ones though, but in general to other mascaras, like the ones that I love, this is pretty far down on the list. Like, I just think it's like okay, it's fine, but I wouldn't repurchase it again unless I really just wanted to look at the cute packaging, because it is really cute packaging. So real quick, before we move on to the last category, which is lips, I wanted to tell you about this L'Oreal Paris Infallible Brows. This is like, you know, a brow setter, a brow gel. It's a color. I like the concept of like the wand, but this is incredibly pigmented. It made me look ridiculous. Like, my eyebrows were so dark, and it's so wet, the formula is so wet, that like my eyebrows were just like sticking up, and I was like, this is horrible, this is horrible. I was hoping it would be like e.l.f. Wow Brow, where I just stick it in and it's like a one and done product. It is, but you also look ridiculous. I mean, at least in my personal opinion. And I have the lightest shade, or one of the lightest shades, because this is, oh yeah, this is light blonde, and it's just like, maybe you can get an idea just by looking at it how messy this is. It's a lot. All right, so last I have lip stuff. I'm gonna start off with this Kosas, why did I say it like that? This just says this is Kosas Heat Wave. I'll put the actual name of it on the screen, but this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure the shade is Heat Wave. This is so pretty. It's nude. It's just so easy to wear on the lips. It's basically like a colored lip balm in a tube, and I love this. And I also love the packaging. The like steel blue color is so pretty. This is underrated. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about this, and I purchased it on a whim. And I've been loving it. It's so beautiful on the lips, so moisturizing. I'll be bringing it out a lot in the fall and winter when my lips get super dry, because it actually does like hydrate and moisturize your lips while also being really pretty on them. So this is a really good product. So then I tried the Kulfi lipstick in Catty Kiss. It's a little bit of a deeper nude. It's moisturizing as well, and I love the way it feels and looks on my lips. I feel like it's a little bit shinier than I was expecting the first time I put it on, but it's not super shiny. It's just like balmy feeling, and I really like it. And this brand is super underrated. Nobody ever talks about the brand Kulfi, so in case you're wondering, it's a great brand, and I really like this lipstick. So lastly, I tried the Amy Collet lip oil. Yeah, and this is in the shade Bliss. And I love a good hefty doe foot. That's just my favorite way of applying it. So pretty. I heard Taylor Wynn talking about this, and I was like, fine, I'll try it finally. And I did. It is really comfortable. I've noticed that lip oils are essentially the same thing done over and over again, and they keep roping us all in because they're addictive, and they're trendy right now, and they're comfortable. So I do really like this. I think you could probably find a similar drugstore formula, like even at CoverGirl, Milani. Those two are the like best drugstore lip oils in my opinion, and this one's very similar to those. So I don't think you necessarily need to buy this, but I do like the shades in it. So yeah, I'm just like, but I don't think you need to go run out and get it. All right, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you didn't feel like it was too overwhelming. I felt like there were a decent amount of products, but not so many that I've had in the past, and that was a little bit of a relief for me. It felt easier to go through. Also, it's just been easier on my wallet, frankly. So it's been really nice to just really try out these products in depth. It's been a while since I've done a review video, so if you want to check out some more, I'll link that playlist in the eye and down below if you're just in that mood. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. We've got Vlogmas coming up soon, very soon, so you definitely want to stick around for that if you want to see more of a day in my life style video for the month. It's going to be like multiple day in my lives pretty much with a cute little Vlogmas bow. But anyway, if you are in the mood to hold on to fall a little bit longer, I had a lot of fall content just recently go up, and if you're not in the mood for that, I had a Shop My Stash go up and an Empties go up recently, so you can kind of get in the mood of more of like this kind of video or this style of video, and you can kind of check out my makeup collection or what I've used up. So if you want to check those out, definitely do that. Also, if you haven't checked out the rest of my channel, definitely do so, and subscribe if you like what you see. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell down below so you don't miss out when I upload videos in the future. I do one video a week usually, except for Vlogmas. I'll do more like 2 or 3 videos a week if you're into that. So yeah. But anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!